Real life. Real stories. Let's see what's trending in Indianapolis. This is Poteet on the Edge.
Is that...
Oh, wait a minute. My thing got stuck.
Good start, everyone. Good start.
We need more cowbell. It's not even cowbell. You've got no ring.
That's the quietest cowbell I've ever heard.
You know, what's going on there?
That's from the Monumental Marathon, and it did get stuck for a moment. It hit the wall like I've done before running marathons, and then it wasn't doing anything. It may have something to do with a 3-year-old who's been,
Oh, it wasn't Baxter, huh?
In Papa's little special room. I've gotten it unstuck now. Usually you have to see a surgeon for something like that to happen. So
Yay, see, there's another bell right there. So his ding is functioning.
I know. Hi, Paul.
fully functional. Hi, how's everybody feeling?
Well, that one is...
Pass. Let's just all move on.
Yeah, we just don't want to actually call attention to the malaria victim here. Oh, wait, sorry, I said that.
It might be malaria. It might be bronchitis.
There's only a 33% chance I have malaria.
It's because of all the tsetse flies in the office.
Well, we've had some very tropical weather around here, so I can understand why you would be at risk for that.
Yeah. I don't know. So we're going to take our cue and just kind of move on.
Please. Let's just all move on.
For all of the Edge of the Web, Edge of the Indy, sorry. We've been doing too many shows this week. It's all kind of muddling together.
And we're all on the edge, too. So
I feel your pain. Yes.
So for all the Edge of Indy watchers and listeners, Paul Poteet, meet them meet Paul Poteet.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, sometimes you forget which place you're at. I was recently in Cincinnati again for a couple of days, and I was staying at this hotel, and I finished up with the 5:30 p.m. Weather yesterday afternoon. I go, it's time to go back home to Mrs. Poteet and Baxter into their loving arms and paws. I'm going up I-75, and it suddenly occurs to me, I'm going back to the hotel. I'm not going home. I need to be going west, not north again. That's bad.
you don't actually live there at the hotel. So.
I don't actually live here.
Right.
Felt like it for a while, though, right?
But it's funny how quickly you adapt to something or get into a rut. And so, yeah, I realize, has that ever happened to you? You're driving along and you think, well, this isn't where I'm supposed to be.
You're like, how did I get here?
I go on autopilot so many times when I'm taking the so whenever the Sparks troop is getting on the highway, all of a sudden I'm on my way downtown to.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like, okay, and Karen goes, you know what? You're on autopilot. You want me to drive? I say, no, I'm fine.
All right. Okay, just a good slap every once in a while. That'll clear that up. All right. Well, people, they get very tense at work and they work real hard. Maybe that's part of the reason why. And apparently people are so committed to their jobs that there is a lot that they're willing to give up for their jobs, because that's our first story that we found on the Edge of the Web. What would you give up for a 10% raise, huh?
What is happening?
I don't know. We keep on saying Edge of the Web.
I know I have malaria, but what is happening?
So anyway, what do we got here?
35% of folks would give up the right to vote for a 10% raise at work.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, keep reading.
In all elections for life. So you get the one-time raise, and who knows? I guess you need to negotiate how long the raise goes, because you're willing to give up your right to vote forever.
That's an annual raise in salary. So they're looking at 10% in perpetuity.
Yeah, I guess. An immediate 10% raise. So no.
One time.
Wow.
I mean, you get the money now. Who knows if down the road? But these people would be willing to give up their right to vote down the road for life. 35%.
That is so disheartening.
Yeah, I know. Some of these other ones are crazy too.
53% will give up all social media accounts for the next 5 years. Well, I think I might do that. But I would not do this. 47% would give up caffeinated products for the next 2 years if they got a 10% raise. 43% would give up exercise for the next 5 years. Well, that could be the 43% of people who
done.
Who don't want to do it anyway, right?
Twist my arm.
Check this out. 50% would work one day every weekend for the next year.
Hey, managers, do the math.
Yeah.
Take advantage of those people.
That doesn't make sense.
Here,
No, it doesn't.
You give me 10% more, I'll give you like 200% more. Okay.
All right, and so this I have to reject on principle. 73.42% would give up all alcohol beverages
Crazy people.
for the next 5 years.
That's nuts. I mean, what if your job is driving you to drink?
Those people shouldn't be allowed to vote.
You should take away the right. They shouldn't give it up.
Prioritization, people. Don't you understand?
5% would eat a single Tide Pod to get a 10% raise.
Oh, can't that go away? Oh, wow.
12% would break up with their partner.
Like what?
You get a 10% raise. I mean, you got to figure those.
This is all tied to a 10% raise.
Yeah, just to get a measly 10% raise.
I was going to say, what are these people doing? Like, what are their jobs? Because if it's a huge amount of money, like, you know what I mean? If it's like 10% of a infinity, then okay, maybe we'll talk. But I don't imagine people who are willing to give up their spouses are making infinity dollars.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe. And plus, if you're going to give up your spouse and you're going to give up, your spouse and then get an influx of money, you need to contact a psychiatrist and then your attorney and your accountant, because
all that's going to be sapped right there.
Yeah, you would be getting more money just at the time you're going into a divorce proceeding.
Pretty much as a wash, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be
and they can't drink.
And they can't drink.
And you can't drink to either toast and or commiserate your
Interesting.
nuptials.
It's all about a raise. That literally would do that much. Oh man, these are weird responses.
40% would give up dental care for the next 5 years.
What percent?
So apparently that's how those
40%.
40% would.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
But 86% would give up Game of Thrones for life.
I'm making a lot of good money, baby.
Screen grab.
Yeah, I have no teeth anymore, but I'm making some good jack. Anyways, that's what people give up for an immediate 10% raise.
That's where we are, everybody. Fantastic.
That's not good.
Buckle your seatbelts, everyone. That's where we are.
That's where we are. Yeah, look around you. Maybe as you're streaming this at work right now, these are the people you're working with. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying.
And if you see anybody with really failing oral hygiene, you might want to inquire of, did they get a raise this last quarter or what? Right? It may be a flag for you.
Your teeth look like baked beans. Are you getting... Yeah. All right, I have an old school photo experience for those of you who have new school cameras. You have a smartphone, but you want some dumb photos, I guess. There's an iPhone app called Goudak as opposed to Kodak. Eudak. Look it up. It shoots virtual rolls of film. You get 24 exposures on each roll. Like the old days.
Yeah.
Playing those to Brittany, would you please?
I know what that is.
When you finish a roll, this is the best part of this. When you finish taking your 24 exposures, you have to wait an hour before you can load another. And in order to see your images, you have to hit the develop button and wait 3 days to see your pictures.
That is awesome.
That is stupid.
It's very much stupid,
Okay,
but at the same time, do we have too much time on our hands to actually?
Yes, entirely.
And it also, not only does it have those time restrictions, but it randomly puts like a little, I think they call them light leaks, where the little blurs or
Yeah.
Smudges like you used to get, and sometimes in the old school cameras when you would get the film developed. So you get the light, I think maybe light leaks, they call them. But the best part is that you have to wait. I mean, we're so used to,
Instant.
coffee is cold, you put it in the microwave for 40 seconds, whatever. But you have to wait, 3 days to see your pictures?
It's like fictionalized patience. We literally are trying to distance ourselves from gratification. Huh?
Well, we're using technology to pretend we don't have technology.
It's like Inception.
Yeah, exactly. I can remember when we would go on vacations, like to real scenic places, and we'd be so paranoid that we weren't getting, the pictures weren't, and that we would sometimes go to a 1 hour photo place, like in the city we were in. Remember the 1 hour?
Oh, yeah.
to get the picture, and so we'd have it before the end of the vacation. We already thought that was like bending the time-space continuum. We're having our vacation, and we're looking at pictures.
What's funny is that my eldest son actually wanted something for Christmas, and this last Christmas he got a Polaroid. And that's making a comeback. Literally, it's spitting out Polaroid pictures, and he's having to
My niece has one of those too.
shake it like a Polaroid picture. Yeah, I did that.
Do you know who sings that though?
Moving on. No.
Well, they are. The benefit of that is the pictures don't exist anywhere else than physically in front of you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Knock wood.
That sounded like metal.
Story number
There's
3.
metal.
There's some metal. The most outrageous baseball stadium foods. These are amazing. Now that is that's the dilly dog, dilly. In Arlington, Texas Rangers play in Arlington, Texas. Dill pickle, cored and stuffed with a jumbo beef hot dog. Have you seen that online? That's kind of like that's spreading around. I think that would be delicious myself. I love pickles, but with a hot dog, do you guys find that gross?
A little bit, yeah.
It's repulsive.
I'm 50-50 on the hot dog thing. I like brats, right?
Brats are good.
Still.
But the processed the hot dog
Garbage.
thing, and the rat hairs really just kind of.
Oh, God.
You don't want to see them made. It's like just.
Jeez. That is a trigger for me.
Look at that thing. Look at that thing.
I mean, that can't be bad for you, can it? That's from Yankee Stadium. And
No carbs there.
delicious gourmet dessert. They call that the pinstripe shake. Vanilla shake topped with a churro, cotton candy. I don't like cotton candy. A Cracker Jack, get it, baseball, and caramel drizzle. The perfect combo of ballpark sweets for Yankee fans to enjoy.
Wow.
There's a couple on here that I would not in a million years, and we'll see if one of them. Well,
that's awesome.
That I'm into.
Yeah, that's from the New York Mets. What do they call that?
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I just got into chicken and waffles.
But you got to go with hot sauce on the chicken and waffles.
Oh, so good. Okay, now Colorado Rockies. You've all heard of Rocky Mountain oysters, right? Well, they have a little thing called the Rocky Mountain Po' Boy at Coors Field. Cattle testicles come top. Paul, could you read that line again? And this time emphasize punch cattle. Cattle testicles that are topped with garlic slaw, guacamole, green chili ranch, pico, and some kind of other cheese.
That looks how my sinuses feel. If that helps everyone understand a little bit better.
Well, this Poteet ain't going to eat a po' boy anytime soon, I can tell you that.
Oh, my Lord. There's a joke there, Brittany, but I can't
Just leave it where it is. It's totally fine.
Just give us a hint.
No, it's an HR violation. Moving on.
Log cabin. Let's get into our safe space, into the log cabin with a waffle. Rosemary scented waffles stuffed with pulled pork. That actually sounds good. Huh. Cheese curds and maple baked beans.
Did you just at cheese curds?
I guess
sacrilege.
I'd rather eat than think about because it tastes better than it sounds. That's from Phoenix. That's
pulled pork stuffed waffles. Now that's interesting.
No.
I think I would like that. Do we have the, let's see, from the Seattle Mariners? There we go. Toasted grasshoppers.
I'm sorry, what?
Toasted grasshoppers.
With a wedge of lime.
They come lightly seasoned with salt, chili, and lime juice and can be a taco topping or eaten from a bucket.
Or naturally eaten from a bucket.
A bucket of grasshoppers.
That's beautiful.
That's in Seattle, where all the trends begin.
That's Safeco Field.
Yeah, that was just kind of a nacho thing that didn't look too bad. But yeah, in Phoenix, they had, I think we went past that, an 18-inch hot dog. $28 for that hot dog. Can you believe that? Fries, all kinds of different toppings. The fries are on it, and it's stuffed inside of a hot dog bun in Phoenix. And there's the log cabin waffle sandwich. Dogs are, still big, but they don't say, buy me some peanuts and cattle testicles. That's not the song. That's not the way any of this works. There's no way I'm
Every time you're on, man, it's a brand new ringtone I have to create for Paul Poteet.
my golden voice saying, "Buy me some peanuts and cattle testicles."
There you go. Wow.
That's what you can get out at Coors Field, and I would need like about 20 cores after that.
I was gonna say.
Just to wash it out.
Forget the memory of that. So avoid the po' boy.
Well, there you go.
Paul Po' Boy Poteet. And that are three things I found this week
On the edge.
on the edge.
Had to go with cattle testicles, right?
What?
Oh, yeah,
Not cow testicles. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean,
The wheels are falling off again.
that would be one butch cow. So,
What do we look like from a weather forecast standpoint? I know we're trying to give something to our audience as opposed to the cesspool we're in. What are you doing?
I was being a cow with who's about to be served, not with papers either.
Oh my Lord!
We're about to get warmer around here. Oh my, I believe I'm having the vapors right now. Around 60 today and the 70s for a couple of days. Consecutive above average days, which we really have not had since, February. 60 today, if you're watching our initial live stream. Nice. The breezes are a little bigger than they have been. 72 tomorrow, 74 on Friday, and it looks like a bumpy weekend with periods of showers and thunderstorms around on Saturday, and probably some pretty good rainfall again, unfortunately. Have you been to the White River lately? I sometimes walk or run by this path that goes by the White River, and that sucker was high. You could have put river boats out there when I walked last week. So we don't need more rain, but we'll get it this weekend. And then look real closely at that Monday icon.
I see it, Paul.
Yeah, you see there? That's like I tried to slip it in, but it's sort of like something from cattle that you put inside of,
In a bun.
at a baseball stadium. You're going to see it. You're going to see, snowflakes.
So you're at 70 degrees and then snow in days.
Yeah.
Happy April.
Yeah, probably mixed with rain on Monday. So nothing.
I like your warning. Enjoy the temps, but don't get cocky.
Yeah, that's right. It was a cautionary tale.
Right,
So
it's important.
make most of the next few days here while you can, and then brace yourself, batten down your hatches. But really, it really will cut down on the malaria. I think that's around. If we get
It's a rampant case of malaria here in central Indiana.
So that's glass half full.
Well, thanks so much, Paul. How can our audience, our listeners, our watchers get a hold of you?
All these recipes are on my website. We used to always say that. People always are saying that on TV. The recipes are on the website. For more information, it's on the website. It's paulpoteet.com, PAULPOTEET.com. Busier than ever, so you can keep up with all the stuff going on there, okay?
Fantastic. So don't be an outcast, all right?
Okay.
I know where that song is.
Did you look it up?
Of course not.
You did?
No, I did. No,
You did.
no,
I wasn't
would
watching.
never.
This guy cooler than being cool, obviously. Yeah.
We don't have the internet here at all.
Again, 2004, that same year.
I was.
Oh my gosh, was it that long ago? Was it
Yeah.
almost 15 years ago that song was
Yes.
out?
Yeah, evidently, I'm about 14 years in the past, as my topical song references are today.
Well, at least you're not talking about like Casey and the Sunshine Band or something, or Disco Duck, something like that. Well, Google it.
There was a song, Disco Duck.
A song called Disco Duck, and it was like #1, and it's amazing.
I'm gonna pass, but thank you.
Next time you're tempted to make fun of who was the one guy, Psy, and what was that one fad about 5 years ago?
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style. Yeah, the next time you're tempted to mock that, just go back and Google Disco Duck, kids. Yeah,
Now you stuck that in my head. That's ridiculous.
Disco Duck. All right, see you then.
All right, thanks so much, Paul.
Bye,
now
Paul.
you've actually earwormed that. Appreciate it.
I know. I just placed things inside of an earworm. That would be a good thing for maybe Coors Field
I think I have that in my system also.
with sauce, with lime. I'll have the earworm with not so much lime.
Well, thanks so much, Paul. And it's always a pleasure to be able to have you on the show. And we'll talk to you next week, man.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, Paul.